Hey everyone, it is Evan here from the Trade Risk on Wednesday, October 16th. We are intraday right now, and this is our weekly trade ideas video where we bring you some of the names from our watch list, stocks that are holding up well, showing some relative strength, and ideally are not yet too extended in their move. As always, these videos are powered by our partners over at Investors Business Daily. We're curating ideas from their stock lists. You can get access to their stock lists with a link in the description of this video. Now, we got 4 names we're looking at, all on the long side today, 2 from IBD's list, 2 from our watch list. The first here is JP Morgan, bellwether name here. Big bank, mega bank, and this just reported earnings yesterday. We are in the midst of earnings season, so again, as a reminder, do double check those dates on any holdings, any trade ideas, any new purchases that you're thinking of making. Now, JPM did report earnings. You can see that technically we are starting to make another attempt here at the all-time highs to start to resolve this sideways range that it's been in since January of 2018. We've repeatedly found sellers around this $118, $120 level or so, and you can see we've just gone totally sideways over this period. And now we tried to break out in early September with the broad market pullback. We did pull back here in JPM. We put in some type of higher low, and now we're attempting to resolve these highs once again to the upside. So JPM here, slower name. It's a bank, so it's not going to be as juiced up as some of these higher beta, lower cap stocks that we tend to look at sometimes. But if you're looking at a long-term potential emergent uptrend, this is something to consider here, JPM after earnings as it starts to trend at new highs. Next up is another very popular sort of bellwether name. This is Chipotle. This does have earnings coming up again, and this is from IBD's list. This has been on a strong run for the past basically 2 years now, since bottoming out around 300. This nice uptrend has emerged. You can see over the course of this year, it's been basically grinding higher. And at this point, we have this series of higher lows and lower highs in place. And the volume pattern here still pretty attractive. We're not seeing too many heavy distribution days. The trend, longer-term trend, is still up. This looks like a fairly healthy consolidation that could lead into a continuation pattern. Earnings might be the catalyst to get this up or down, so do keep that in mind. But the nice tight sideways range here for about a month, something to pay attention to. Now, the next 2 names come from our watch list, both fairly longer setups, or at least JD, this first one here, is again sort of a longer term setup, and again something that's not ready just yet. We like to plan our trades and look for these long-term or even short-term consolidation pattern to be prepared, and JD is a longer-term consolidation. It has had a nice 2019. It started the year around $20, got as high as about $32, and since April it's basically gone sideways underneath this resistance level. You can see that we're coming back up and attacking, moving to the top end of this range right now. We're not sure if this is the time that the breakout can happen, but we want to keep it on our radar and pay attention to it. If we move to a weekly chart here, again, you can see just a nice well-formed orderly base sideways digesting this move off of the lows. And if this can start to break out above $32, this starts to look pretty interesting here for a continued trend to the upside. So JD, that's the first one from our watch list. And the second name from our watch list is APPS. As of today, we're seeing a lot of software names and tech names getting hit in the market right now. We're seeing many, 5% or higher negative moves here in this session. And when we look here at Digital Turbine, this APPS, we can see that this is acting a bit more resilient here. In fact, over the past 2 months or so, as the broad market has corrected, this has been pretty orderly in its digestion. It is in a downtrend now in a short-term channel, but it's covered a lot of ground here in 2019. It started the year around $2 or so. It got all the way as high as $6. So it's had quite an impressive move. Clearly, this is a micro cap stock. So again, you have to be careful and just understand the type of stock and the risk you're taking when you're buying a smaller company lower float like an APPS, but the stock technically has been behaving beautifully. It might not be ready just yet. It may have another leg down here. This channel might need to form out a little bit better, but if we can start to break that downtrend line, put in a series of higher lows, and start to move to the upside again, I like this name here, and it does have a lot of juice behind it when it starts to get going. So that's it. 4 names for this market. It's kind of quiet out there. Software getting hit today, but markets overall just kind of moving sideways to slightly lower. We'll see if we can get some opportunity in some of these names. So as always, every Wednesday, trade ideas just like this. You can subscribe on our YouTube channel or follow us at The Trade Risk. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you back here on Friday for the market recap video.